In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make this Aran style lattice stitch. It's a lovely chunky stitch, perfect for sweaters and afghans. It has a lot of visual appeal, particularly if you're just using a basic solid colored or natural fiber yarn. You could really use any size yarn or weight yarn that you'd like on this, but we mostly see this sort of a style being used with the heavier or chunkier weight yarns. For example, this is a size 4, and it's not uncommon to see this done with yarns that would be maybe a worsted weight 5 or larger. My name is Sig, and what a pleasure it is to have you with me today. It's your interest and support that allows me to contribute new content and weekly videos. Help us all grow together by tapping the subscribe bar, notification bell, and like button. I look forward to your comments and always value your feedback. Now let's get started. For this particular stitch, I'm going to demonstrate what I do with a standard worsted weight yarn, a size 4, and I'm just going to use a G hook. Now this particular stitch works in multiples of 7 plus 1. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 14 plus 1, giving me a total of 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, to begin this particular stitch or this particular pattern, we want to begin to work on the wrong side of our work. So normally I would begin, so for example, with this particular pattern, I want to start in the 3rd chain from my hook. And normally I would begin like this. And this would be starting my work on the right side of my pattern, which is the normal way we would want to do things. But for today's pattern, we want to actually begin on the wrong side. So I'm going to turn my work so the back side of this chain is facing me. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my double crochet into that 3rd chain from the hook. And then I'm going to place a double crochet in each additional chain in this row. Now once I've completed that, I'm going to turn my work. And basically now the right side of my work will be facing me. So for work like this, my chain or foundation stitches plus my double crochet stitches would actually be considered my base row. So I'm going to consider this first grouping of stitches as my base row. So typically when we're usually crocheting something, this row of double crochets would be like considered our first row, but that's just not going to be the situation. This is going to be considered the base row. And my first row is where I'm going to begin working my pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over twice, and I'm going to insert my hook into the 3rd double crochet, or the base of the 3rd double crochet of my base row. So we're just going to finagle it in here. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull that through. So basically I'm looking at a treble crochet. Now in this case, I'm only going to bring my treble crochet up the first couple of yarn over and pull through, because with a treble crochet you're going to yarn over and pull through 3 times to create the stitch. However, I'm going to stop at the 2nd step of this treble crochet. And a treble crochet in this circumstance would be considered an open treble, okay? Because we still have one more step in order to close the treble. But before closing the treble, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to just take my yarn and pull it back a little bit, and then I want to insert my hook into the next stitch. So I began my treble in the first stitch, or the turning stitch, and the next stitch is going to be the following stitch, the stitch next to it. So I'm going to insert my hook there. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull that yarn through just like that. So now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, and that will be now considered a closed treble. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 2 times. So single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now I'm going to begin an open treble again. So I'm going to yarn over twice, and this time I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it back here in the base of the previous base that I used to begin my first open treble. I'm going to yarn over, and then like with the previous open treble, I'm going to just pull my hook through twice, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Now I want to do another open treble, so I'm going to do that in the 3rd stitch from the base of where I connected my first 2 trebles. And then I'm going to yarn over twice, and I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it into the base of that next stitch. So I'm going to skip 2 double crochets, and then in the base of the following double crochet, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to begin my next open treble. So now I have 2 open trebles. And in order to close those trebles, I'm going to go to this next stitch right here. I'm going to pull my yarn through, yarn over. So I have now 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull that yarn through, and that closes my 2 trebles together. And then next I'm going to single crochet once and then single crochet again. Then I'm going to do another open treble right here at the previous base of the last open treble that I did. And then I'm going to count over to the next, or to the 3rd double crochet from where I connected my last treble at the base. And then I'm going to do my 2nd open treble right there into that base. So now I have 2 open trebles on my hook, and I'm going to go in, and in the next stitch, the next open stitch that I have, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull that yarn through. Again, give me 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again. I'm going to pull that all the way through, and that closes my 2 trebles. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet in 2 more stitches. And then I'm going to start the process of my next 2 open trebles. So I'm going to go ahead and start my first open treble by inserting my hook into the last base stitch that I used for the last open treble. And then I'm going to make another open treble, but I'm going to scooch over 1, 2 into this 3rd stitch, into the base of that. And then I'm going to finish my 2nd open treble. And then of course I'm going to close my trebles by going to the next stitch. And then I'm going to yarn over, giving me 4 loops on my hook, yarn over again. I'm going to pull that shut, and that gives me my that gives me my closed treble. Then again, I'm going to single crochet once, and I'm going to single crochet again. And now I'm going to do my last open treble, and come in here. I'm going to go ahead again. I'm going to connect that open treble to the base of the stitch that I used my last treble on. And now because I'm at the end of this, I'm just going to go ahead and close my treble after just the 1 open treble. And so I'm going to go to the next stitch because I have 2 stitches left in my row. I'm going to yarn over and pull that yarn through, closing my treble. And then I'm going to do my 1 more single crochet in that last single crochet. So this is my first row. Now you can see it curling just a little bit here on the bottom. That's because I should have made my chain stitches just a little looser than I did. But that's okay. This is just a demonstration. Otherwise the count is good. So this gives you your first row, if you like. So the next thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and for row 2, basically, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to turn your work. You're going to chain 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and double crochet in each additional chain. So your chain 2 is going to basically, your turning stitch is going to act or stand in place of a double crochet. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to make a double crochet. And then in each additional stitch after that, I'm going to make a double crochet all the way across for row 2. Okay, so with row 2 completed, I'm going to turn my work. And I'm going to begin row 3. Now for row 3, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Now I'm going to begin my open treble. So I'm going to yarn over twice. And this time I'm going to actually hook my hook right here behind this first treble crochet there from the first row. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to get my first open treble completed. Then I'm going to yarn over twice, and this time I'm going to insert my hook into where these 2 treble crochets connect here in row 1. I'm going to yarn over and pull through twice, and then I'm going to close my trebles. So I'm going to go to the next open stitch. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull that yarn through, and that gives me 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull that through, closing those 2 trebles. Now you can see where the lattice begins. Next, as before, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet once, and then single crochet again. Now I'm going to do another open treble, and I'm going to yarn over twice, and I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it behind where these 2 treble crochets connect, and I'm going to yarn over and pull my yarn through, yarn over once, yarn over twice, and then I'm going to yarn over twice again to start my next open treble. And this time I'm going to insert my hook into where the 2 previous trebles in row 1 connect. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close my 2 trebles together at this next open stitch. There you go. And then I'm going to single crochet again twice. And then again, open treble. And then another open treble. And then I'm going to insert my hook into the next open stitch, and I'm going to pull that yarn through, and then I'm going to close my 2 trebles. And then again, single crochet, and then single crochet. Again, 1 open treble. And then I'm going to do another open treble. I'm going to go to the next open stitch. I'm going to close those 2 trebles. And then in my last 2 stitches, I am going to do a single crochet. So now you can see kind of the diamond pattern occurring, which is going to be part of our lattice. And again, I'm going to turn my work, and we're going to begin row 4. And in row 4, I'm going to chain 2. And of course, this turning chain is going to be a stand-in for my first double crochet. And then I'm going to double crochet in each additional stitch after that. And that's completion of row 4. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to begin to repeat the pattern from my first row again. Now this isn't the base row, this is the first row. So the first row, and I'll go through the next 4 rows again, so that just because this is a more complicated stitch, just for those of you who are actually interested in seeing it done completely one more time. So in my first row, I'm going to just automatically begin with my open treble. And I'm going to hook into the top of these 2 trebles right here where they connect from row 3. And then, like, because this is a repeat of row 1, we're going to go ahead and going to insert my hook into the next stitch, pull yarn through, and I'm going to close that first treble. Then I'm going to single crochet twice, once and twice. Now I'm going to begin my open trebles again. So this will be my first open treble. And then I'm going to begin my second open treble. I'm going to hook that into where the next 2 trebles connect to there from that row 3, that previous row 3. So I have 2 open trebles. I'm going to insert my hook into the next open stitch, pulling through some yarn, which is going to give me 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull that through, and now I've just closed those 2 trebles. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet once and twice. And I'm going to begin it all over again. Next open treble. And then the second open treble. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch and pull through my 4th loop. And I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to close those 2 trebles together. And I'm going to single crochet 2 times. And do an open treble once. And then an open treble second time. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook and draw through a loop from the next open stitch. 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull that loop through, and I've just closed my next 2 trebles. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 2 times, and then I'm going to do 1 more treble. So I'm going to have 1 open treble, because I'm here at the end of my work for row 1. And now once I've closed my last treble, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double crochet in each of the next stitches across what would be a repeat of row 2. So for row 3, I would go and I'd chain 1. And then the next stitch, I'd make a single crochet. And then I'd begin my next open treble. And then I'd do my second open treble. And then I'd go ahead and I would close my 2 trebles in that next open stitch. And then 2 single crochets. And then again, another open treble. And the second open treble. And then I go ahead to the next open stitch and I close those 2 trebles together. So this is row 3 again. And single crochet and single crochet. And then again, an open treble. And another open treble. I'm going to go ahead and close those 2 trebles. And then 2 single crochets. Again, open treble. And then another open treble right here on this single leg. I'm going to go ahead and close those two trebles. And then I'm going to single crochet. At this point, I have one more treble crochet and one more single crochet to do. Then, of course, I'm going to turn my work, and then the fourth row is going to basically be your chain 2 turning, and then you're going to make a double crochet in each one of those stitches for row 4. And then, of course, you will repeat from row 1 again. Repeat row 1 through 4. So admittedly, this is a bit of a more challenging stitch, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. But now's the time for me to say goodbye. So until I see all you wonderful and creative fiber artists again, stay crafty, stay amazing. Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye now.